Good morning, friends. We are currently at the beach and I had my videos set up so that we'd have all of our beach videos, in the timeline. Don't want to mess up the timeline, but today was Wednesday and I didn't get a Wellness Wednesday filmed before I left. And so this Wellness Wednesday is at the beach, but then my next video is going to be back at home. And it's gonna be all messed up. But I really did want to get a Wellness Wednesday in today. I thought about skipping it, but here we are. So don't be confused by being at the beach now. Then I believe day after tomorrow, another video will come out where we are at home. And then after that, there will be beach videos. So I don't have anything big and elaborate prepared for this Wellness Wednesday. I kind of just wanted to follow up on what I talked about last week and just chat a little bit, kind of see where it goes. Last week I talked about a couple of different diet tweaks that I am considering for after vacation, after things kind of settle down, once we get in the rhythm of school and all that. Like I said, I found my baseline diet where I feel really good, and so anything beyond this is just tweaks, just nudges. I've done many diets in the past that were trying to force my body into different changes and that never turned out well. It never stuck long term. And now whenever I try to make any kind of a change, whether it's a physical change or, wanting to feel better in certain ways, I always do more gentle, slow changes, basically trying to not make any changes that I'm not willing to live with, at least to some degree, for the rest of my life. So it's just very slow and purposeful tweaks and patience. That's something I didn't used to have when it came to, diet and body change and all that. And I feel like I have grown in that area. Sometimes I feel like I've grown in that area to the degree that I don't care enough anymore. And so sometimes tweaks that I think I want to do, I'm not actually motivated enough to actually make it happen. One of those is giving up dairy, like I told you guys about last week. My two tweaks that I have been considering, the first one is giving up dairy, because I do think that my body would respond well. I'm interested to see how my body does giving up dairy and being low carb at the same time. Even though I've given up dairy plenty of times in the past, I've never done it while I was really low carb. So I'm interested to see what would happen. But I'm not yet motivated enough to actually do it, because that one's going to be really difficult. For me, giving up dairy is harder than giving up sugar. And I'll talk more about giving up dairy in a minute. But the second diet tweak that I am considering and am more leaning towards is alternating lean days and higher fat days, kind of going back and forth, not counting, not, restricting calories, not necessarily doing a protein sparing modified fast, but just alternating leaner foods on one day, higher fat foods on the next day. If you want more details on those two tweaks, that's what my last video is about. If you haven't seen that, I'll put it up in the cards. So anyways, the response to that video, it made me laugh. There were so many good comments and conversation below that video. It was great, but it did make me laugh how about 50% of the people that commented, of you guys that commented, said, I'm with you, I'm never giving up dairy. And then the other 50% said, give up dairy, it'll be the best thing you ever did. And it was the key for me, So it's funny how dairy is such a polarizing topic, very similar to carbs in that way. And like I said, I am very interested to see what happens if I do cut out dairy. But I'm not yet motivated. I'm not saying I'll never do it. I'm not saying that. I actually think that I will do it. Just don't know when. I'm going to have to wait and see when I'm ready. So when I started my wellness journey many years ago now, I felt like I went through a progression of cutting things out. I definitely tried different approaches, but it was always taking things away. So started with the Atkins diet, and I mean processed food, plenty of processed food, still like seed oils, salad dressings, mixes. I remember getting Atkins brand pancake mix, different low carb bars, it was pretty much just the standard American diet, but at Atkinsified, you know? But at that time, it was exactly what I needed. I lost like 35 pounds in like 2 months. It was crazy. And since then, it's been different iterations, but then it's always been cutting back. You find out, oh, that's unhealthy. I need to cut that out of my diet. Oh, that could be unhealthy. I need to cut that out of my diet. Oh, dairy could be giving you a problem. You need to cut that out of your diet. Oh, egg whites, they have avidins and they can be bad for some people. We need to cut that out of our diet too. And over the years, I just cut out and cut out and cut out and cut out, trying to actually improve my diet and make it better. And in the end, I realized for myself that I had to kind of bounce back. Like, I couldn't just keep going on this progression. If you do that, you're gonna just end up eating ice made from purified water or something. But then you don't have the minerals. When you purify your water, you get to take the minerals out. So you have to add back minerals. So you can't even have an ice diet. And so I find it so funny when I post videos about my food on, you know, on YouTube, and you know, anytime I talk about diet, someone will say, oh, but eggs do this. Oh, but didn't you know that processed meat is bad for you? Oh, didn't you know that this? And I'm like, yeah, I've actually gone through all of those steps. And I found that for my health, not just my physical health, but my mental and emotional and like communal health, like the way I was living with the people around me, I needed to lighten up on having to eat the perfect foods. So I talked a couple of weeks ago about Tootsie Rolls being healthy depending on the circumstance that the body is in that eats the Tootsie Rolls. And I had to really come to the realization and acceptance that certain unhealthy foods can be healthy for me if eating them allows me to enter into the community that I'm with, or if eating them allows me to have a less stressful day. There's just way more that goes into health than the nutrients and the macronutrients in the actual food that you're eating. So I could say a grass-fed, grass-finished steak with a side of liver, it has all these nutrients and it is a very healthy meal. But if I am out and running around and busy and hungry and don't have a grill or a stove to cook my meat on, or if my meat's still frozen, then going to McDonald's and getting burger patties from McDonald's is actually, for me in that moment, the healthier choice. I can eat those burger patties without all the stress. I don't have to be worried. Eating those burger patties in that moment, it takes away my stress, which is incredibly healthy. Stress is very, very unhealthy, you guys. So when you're able to reduce your stress by just zipping through the drive-thru, not having to worry about rushing home and defrosting meat and getting it all prepared, is gonna reduce my stress and actually gonna make me healthier. So all that to say, when I think about cutting out dairy, I am taking that into consideration, that it is very easy for me to eat my ketovore style diet with dairy in it. If I were to choose to take dairy out, it would make my diet harder for me, which would cause me some stress, and it would make it more difficult for me to enter into social community situations that I want to be a part of. It just adds ease and excitement and deliciousness to my diet to have dairy in it. And I have to balance that with the benefits that I might receive from cutting it out. And so for me right now, the benefit does not exceed the cost, because there will be cost. And like I said, I'm not saying that I'll never do it. I actually probably will. And maybe it'll be just to prove to myself that dairy is worth it for me long term, which is really good, valuable information to have. But the time will come for that. And I guess what I want to communicate is that giving up things comes at a cost. It's not only coming down to physical health and not just nutrients coming in, but there is cost to your health in regards to stress, in regards to emotional health, and in regards to community and being able to enter in to the celebrations and just the day-to-day life of the people around you. And so when you think about cutting something out, don't merely measure the physical aspect of it. Measure your health holistically, all of the different parts of your health, and then you can make a better informed decision about if it is worth it for you or not to make this change. Anyways, that is what I am doing. Just sharing that. Let me know if that resonated with you. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing and what's working for you. The comments on my Wellness Wednesdays are a highlight of my week. So hope you guys are all doing great. I will see you in another video at home, and then we will be heading to the beach. Bye guys.